Well, hello, my fearless viewers. So today is New Comic Book Day, but according to my sources, I've only got one book in my file, so I'm not gonna drive half an hour to go pick it up this week. I'll just double up next week, right? So I do, however, have like $250 worth of trade at a used bookstore that sells comic books. So I think it might be time to cash in. So let's go see how much stuff I can get for this 250 bucks. Let's go. So, what did I do to get 235 bucks in trade? Well, before my estate shut down, I have my comics in file cabinets, and so because of that, I live in an apartment right now, and I have limited space, so I can't just add another file cabinet when my file cabinet gets full. So I need to purge some stuff every now and then. So I needed to get rid of some stuff that I didn't want anymore. And so I went through and got rid of a bunch of stuff that I didn't really like, mostly a lot of modern stuff that I bought that I thought would be good, and it wasn't. So I tried selling them online for like a week, and didn't really have much interest at all, probably because they weren't that good of books, and secondly because the coronavirus was hitting and people were losing their jobs. So I was like, man, if we're going to be shut down for a really long time, for who knows how long, I don't want to just sit on these books and just have them taking up space. I got enough comics taking up space. So there's a used bookstore in a city near me, and they take comic books. And so I just loaded them all up one day before work, took them down there, and I told myself, whatever they offer me in cash, I'm just going to take in trade, and I'm going to trade my crappy comics for comics that I do want. And they sometimes get some high dollar books in, and I'm looking for quality stuff. If they got like a $100 book, well, I can just use my credit for it. So they offered me $234 in trade, which was like $100 more than what they offered me for cash. So I took the trade, a deal that I had made with myself going into it, and I got rid of like 315 books in like one swift move, right? So I didn't have to sit on certain stories for years. Selling stuff online, someone's got to want it for it to sell. You're not just because you list it doesn't mean it's going to sell. So I was happy with that. You're probably like, well, you lost like $75, $80, $100 in comic funds. You didn't even get $1 an issue, and that's fine. Those comics weren't worth $1 an issue. I overpaid for them when I bought them new. They were mostly trash, just not good books. And so because of that, I'm happy with the deal. I'm happy with getting $235 for 320 books, or however many it was. It was over 300. I'm completely cool with it. And if I can get some good books to fill in, like more targeted books to fill in my collection, then I'm super happy with that. So let's see what I can get for 235 bucks. Oh my god. It's so hot in there. It's like 90 degrees outside, and that place is essentially a warehouse. This was a mistake. Oh my god. Wow. I got some good stuff though. So, let's look at what I got. So the first thing I did was go to the Blu-rays because I wanted to see if they had some of the newer DC animated movies, and they did not. But I wound up getting Rogue One. I don't have it yet, and it's probably Disney's only contribution to the Star Wars universe that I'm going to allow into my own personal canon. So I went ahead and picked that up, and I'm excited to watch that again. That's such a good movie. If only they were all that good. And then on my way to the comics, I happened upon this little puppy. And I was like, since it's just trade anyway, I'm not actually paying cash, I'll go ahead and pick this up because Highlander is one of my favorite movies of all time. These other two do not exist. So I love the score that Michael Kamen did for this movie. So I'm going to be playing that in the background while I go through and show you the stuff that I got. Hopefully it's not too loud. In the 90s, they did a bunch of oversized books, late 90s, 2000s. Alex Ross did a lot of them. He did not have anything to do with this one. JLA Heaven's Ladder. I've never read it, and it's back when Mark Waid was a very good writer, and it's the good JLA team, so I went ahead and picked that up. Can't go wrong for $3. So, in the higher dollar comic section, I was looking to see what they had, and they didn't really have a whole lot that was good. So I got two comics out of there that were in pretty decent shape, pretty good shape. The first one was Amazing Spider-Man number 197. And this one is like $20 seemed a lot to me, but the cover is kind of cool. It's like if I were Spider-Man. But it looks like it might be like Dr. Octopus being Spider-Man, like, what, 30 years before Superior Spider-Man? So I went ahead and picked that up, especially if that comic goes for around that price. I would not want to pay cash for it, really. Got Web of Spider-Man number 25. Working on a Web of Spider-Man run. Got Spectacular Spider-Man number 26. Daredevil in it. Thing's in really good shape too. Marvel Team Up number 150. The last issue of Volume 1. And then they always have a bunch of old issues of The Incredible Hulk, which is good because I have so many issues of The Incredible Hulk. Most places don't have issues that I don't. So I was able to pick up a few. I got issues 225. And I got 226, and I don't think I meant to, because I noticed it had this writing on it. This looks like ink right here on the cover, and I noticed it, and I must have just put it in the wrong pile when I was sorting through them. So I wound up getting that one. So issue 230 of The Incredible Hulk. Issue 247 of The Incredible Hulk. Issue 249 of The Incredible Hulk. I have this fascination. I love getting comics for Christmas. And in addition to comics for Christmas, I also like comics about Christmas. And so it's really hard for me to pass up a Christmas comic book. I don't collect Justice League Unlimited, but it's a Christmas issue, and I couldn't pass it up. And that's Justice League Unlimited number 28. Got some Batman, Seduction of the Gun. I've never read that, but it's got a very interesting title. I figured I'd pick it up. I would really like to read Batman vs. Predator, and so I was very glad that they had issues 1 and issues 2. They did not have issue 3, so I'll be making a mail call for that one. Like Incredible Hulk, it's very rare that I don't have an issue of Batman. And so they did have an issue of Batman that I do not have, which was issue 547 with this beautiful cover by Kelly Jones, unmistakable Batman artist. Batman Adventures number 8. I love the animated Batman comics. The animated series is a fantastic show, and just like the show, the comics are great, and they're very hard to come by. So I always wind up getting a couple there. So Batman Beyond number 17, volume 1, well, volume 2 technically. Batman Gotham Adventures number 33, written by Ed Brubaker, which is dope. This one's got some staining on the cover, which I normally wouldn't get, but these things are so hard to find, I went ahead and picked it up. Gotham Adventures number 39. Gotham Adventures number 54. I'm building... I didn't buy this when it was new because I stopped buying DC Comics at the time because they were just terrible. But the first story was actually really good. It's probably the best thing that came out of the New 52. But I'm building the run of Batman and Robin Eternal, so I got an issue that I didn't have, and then I got this issue, which is a key issue for Cassandra Cain in the New 52 world, which is dumb because Cassandra Cain in New 52 is such a travesty compared to original Cassandra Cain. Man, she is one of the coolest characters created in the last 30 years. Dark Knight 3 Master Race variant cover. I bought this because I'm going to hang that on my file cabinet that's got my Dark Knight stuff in it. Just a really cool cover. There's like, oh, I don't know, 400 variants to that book, which is dumb. And then Batman Beyond Unlimited number 17, I had stopped buying it because I didn't want to pay $4 an issue for it. So that's one of the few that I don't have from that run, and I got it for $1. So then I got some Captain Americas. Got Captain America number 239. $3.18, $3.24, $3.39, $3.42, $3.81, $3.89, $3.90, $4.16, $4.22, and I couldn't pass this up because I love this cover. Captain America #1, first issue of Castaway in Dimension Z, which is a great story, and that's just a good cover. I love that cover. And then Captain America Annual #9, which looks pretty cool. I stopped buying Back to the Future at issue 12. I found issue 13, so I picked that up. Power Man and Iron Fist #96. Daredevil Annual #8. And I was super glad to find these. They are not the best comics. There's some of them that are really good, some of them are eh. But I'm just a big fan of the character, and I was just, I started collecting this run a couple months back, and these are super hard to find for whatever reason. I guess probably a lot of people didn't buy them, so there might not be a big print run on them, but I found a bunch of issues of RoboCop that I needed, which is issue 12, issue 14, issue 15, issue 16, 17, cool cover, 18, 19, 20, 21, very cool cover, 22, and 23. And like I said, they're not some of them are really good, some of them are okay. The ones that I've read so far have all been written by Alan Grant, and he's one of my favorite comic writers, and you know, it's not a bad deal. I'd buy that for $1. So, moving on, we've got Green Lantern #153 and 158. I'm working on that run. Justice League of America 1,000,000. Action Comics 1,000,000. Superman, the Man of Tomorrow #1. Challengers of the Fantastic, one of my favorite amalgam comics that I had when I was a kid. It's just a mixture of Challengers of the Unknown and the Fantastic Four. It's just, I remember liking that book. I don't have any Black Panther comics because I've not read any that I liked, but I just came across this really dope Michael Turner cover for Civil War, Black Panther 23, and it looked interesting, Cap fighting Black Panther. I mean, that just looks cool, and Michael Turner drew the cover. I'm all about that. He did not do the interior art, but that's okay. Then I've got, this book came out like 7 months ago, The Batman's Grave #1. I was curious, but I didn't want to buy it because I just didn't want to pay for something that I didn't think was probably going to be very good. But they had it for $1, as you can see, so I got it for $1. It's in near mint shape. I'll try it out. If it's good, I'll start trying to get the other ones. And then I got Batman Haunted Gotham by Doug Moench and Kelly Jones. It's an Elseworlds book. I've never read that before, but that's a cool cover. All those like zombie hands coming out of the grave. That Batman, that's cool. Batman Secret Files #1 from the Rebirth era. I missed that when it came out. Didn't have it on my file. Didn't think I needed to add it to my file since I bought Batman, but no big deal. I paid less than cover price for it. so I'm happy. It's probably not very good anyway. Another Christmas comic, Shazam #2. I'm not a fan of Jeff Johns' version of Captain Marvel. I really hate that they just changed his name to Shazam, because that's not his name. That's the Wizard's name. But it's yet again a Christmas issue, so I bought it. Maybe it's cool. If not, the cover's cool. And then let's move these out of the way real quick. I got a butt ton of issues of Conan the Barbarian, which I was really hoping that they were going to have a bunch of them when I went. And I was right. They had way more than this, but some of them were just not in good shape at all. And I try to get comics that are in good condition. So got Conan #87, 101, 102. I apologize about that glare. There's not really a lot I can do about that. 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 109, 110, 111, 112, 114, 139, 140, glare, 150, which is a pretty cool cover, 170, 173, 176, 177, 181, 183, 193, 185, 194, 198, 199, 201, which is a pretty cool cover, 202, 203, 216, 235, 251, 254, King Conan #15, Conan the King, same title, just they changed the name, #49, and Conan the Barbarian 2099 #1. This came out like 5-6 months ago as well, and I missed it. I would have bought it, one of the few of these that I would have gotten. I missed out on paying $5 for it though. I got it for $2. I really got it for free. But so there you have it. That's my haul. So what did I wind up spending? Well, the grand total came to $229.20, and I had a credit of $234.65. So they actually gave me $5.45 back in credit, which I was like, that's weird because I did the math and added everything up before I went to the counter, and I came up to $234.15, which is just 50 cents less than what I had in trade. So when she told me $229.20, I was like, that's weird. So once I got home, I added everything up, and $4.95 was the difference. And so it turns out that they did not ring up my Highlander soundtrack. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear up that trade ticket that they gave me and call it even, because that's the right thing to do. They didn't ring it up, so I'm going to give them their money back. I'm not going to take from them, and it works. You heard me listening to it while I went through the books, so it's all good to me. So there's my haul. $234 spent in trade. Didn't have to spend anything but the gas to get me down there and back, which in my car is a lot. But so I got a lot of reading to do, so I better shut up and get to reading some of these books. So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Until next time, take it easy.